Today it's all about you lovely people who are experiencing a proper winter, not some minor cold snap that we've got here in Orange County. So yes, I'm going to make you a wonderful hearty beef stew. And let me tell you, it is packed full of goodies. We're talking beef ribs, cannellini beans, smoked paprika, and because it's still January, a little bit of kale to keep us healthy. So let's get into it. So last week we made the amazing braised beef ribs in red wine. So this week I want to give you another great idea of how you could incorporate those beef ribs into another dish. And also, if you've got some leftovers, how you could use them to stretch it into like a really good midweek meal. So to kick things off, we're going to fry some smoked bacon lardons in a little bit of oil. I've got some onion and some celery which we finely chopped. Let's get those in and move them around the pan. What I'm looking for is them to go a little bit lightly golden brown. Next, we're going to add some diced parsnip. Now, I'm adding parsnip not only because it's in the season, but also because parsnip and beef is a cracking flavour combination. So we're going to get that in the pan, move it around, and what I'm looking for is to get that really nice kind of golden colour, just like the onions and celery. Okay, everything's looking really good, so it's time to add our smoked paprika. Now the paprika is not only going to add spice, it's going to have a lovely red colour, but most importantly, it's going to have this lovely kind of smoky backbone, which we really, really want. So let's get that in. We're going to need about 2 teaspoonsful, heaped, of course, heaped teaspoons. And then I've also got about 4 cloves of garlic, which I've just roughly chopped up. Let's get that in, and we're going to cook it for a couple of minutes. So what I want to do is make sure that everything in the pan is really coated with the paprika and the garlic. Okay, it's time to add the cooking liquid from our braised beef. Now, if you haven't seen the recipe, don't worry about it. I've got a link right at the end of this video, so you'll be able to watch it there. But it's basically all the cooking liquid of the red wine, the beef stock, the aromatics, all the good stuff, which basically goes into this dish. So let's get that in. I'm also going to add a tin of cannellini beans. Make sure you rinse them first of all, because they come in this kind of brine, so we want to rinse that off and don't want that going in the dish. Now, what I want to do is crank the heat up a little bit. I want everything to kind of amalgamate together. We want that all to cook together nicely. But I also want to make sure that that parsnip is cooked through as well. Not to labour on a point, but it really is smelling spectacular in here. But anyway, we need to now reduce that temperature. We want to get that to a nice kind of almost like simmering point. And we're going to add in our slow cooked beef short ribs. Now, some of you might be thinking, Hugh, they look a little bit grey for my liking. Don't worry, they've been in the fridge, a little bit of congealed fat around them, and that's just going to melt away into the sauce, add a little bit more flavour. And that's what we're looking for, you know, this is how it looks. It's not like in the recipe books where everything's perfect. This is what it actually looks like. So there you go, don't worry about that. So let's leave that in, bring it up to temperature really gently, and we're also going to add in some kale as well. Okay, the beef has come up to temperature. It's now really soft and really tender. So we're going to grab some forks and we want to shred that up in the pan. So you can basically have the beef running all the way through the stew. This is a great way to stretch a little bit of beef. So say if you've only got 2 or 3 pieces left over from the weekend, stick it into the stew, shred it up. Everyone has some beef, but you can bulk that out with loads of vegetables. And it's just a great way to have another meal during the week. Finally, we are done. All we need to do is add some tarragon in here. That's going to freshen everything up with the stew, and it's going to work really beautifully with the beef. So let's plate up.